Great.
Please. Okay,
Great.
go ahead.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. My name is Rachel Beld, and I'm the president and CEO of the Vista Chamber of Commerce. I am super excited to be with you all today as we discuss our upcoming trip to discover charming England. I'm super excited about this opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to hearing all of the details from our guest speaker today. And with that, I'd like to introduce Saeed Parker, who's going to tell us all about our Discover Charming England trip that's coming up. Take it away, Saeed.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Let me start sharing my screen in a moment. Come on. Sorry about that. I cannot stop that. Is the internal call coming? All right. Okay. So let me bring my presentation. Can you kindly confirm, Rachel, that you are seeing only my full screen, or are you also seeing the next slide next to it?
I'm only seeing your screen. It's not in presenter mode.
All right. Okay. Excellent. Very good. All right. So once again, thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Vista Chamber of Commerce, and all the members and community of the Vista Chamber to this webinar, which is going to be talking about the forthcoming trip of the Chamber, which is titled Discover Charming England. It's going to depart on October the 21st from Los Angeles. And I'm going to do your presentation on, the trip itself, so that you, the patrons, learn the details, hear the facts, and book this fascinating tour at a really very, very good price. As I will move through, you will see the price, you'll see the details, and I can assure you that given all the inclusions that we have in this trip, this is an excellent price that includes round-trip airfares from Los Angeles. So I'm going to start with some facts and knowledge on UK, United Kingdom. Then I'm going to speak about the tour highlights, what does it include and not include. Then I will give you a brief narration of the entire tour from day 1 to 9. And then we will talk just one slide about, who's in this travel. And then we will talk about how to book, general information, passport, visa, health, currency, weather, etc. And at the end, we will take your questions, if any. In any webinar, we cannot, open the microphone for everybody because, the feedback and the echo that it gets. So you can see on your screens on the top left, there's an area which says Q&A. So if you have any questions that you want to ask me or ask, the chamber, please type them. But I would request you that hold on to your question. Maybe I've already answered them during the course of my presentation. Otherwise, you can start typing them and we will answer the question. So where in the world is United Kingdom? So United Kingdom, as you can see, it's just on the northwest side of the continental Europe. So here you have Netherlands, you have France, you have Germany, and as you cross the English Channel, you have UK. Now, United Kingdom is made of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, which is on top of the country, the independent country of Ireland, where my cursor is moving just now. So this is where UK is located. It's a government, parliamentary, constitutional monarchy, and a Commonwealth realm. The chief of the state is the king, who is King Charles at the present moment, and the head of the government, elected prime minister of the country. Its capital, London, the population is 68 million, 68% Christians, about 4.5% Muslims, about 1.3% Hindus, and then the official language, English. Everybody knows that. Plus also in Scotland, there is, the Scottish Gaelic and some Welsh is spoken in the, in the area. They used to be part of European Union and they had the euros, but ever since they exited from there, they have gone back to the British pound, which the sign of, looks of the British pound looks like this pound sign. Very, very popular sign in the world. Its climate is temperate, moderated by prevailing southwest winds over the North Atlantic current. And most of the time, half of the time, England is known to be overcast. So you always have, clouds on the top. When there's sunshine, they are cheering and smiling, and they're very happy if there's 3 consecutive days of sunshine. So that's one, thing about England, that it's overcast most of the time. The area that it covers is 94,000 square miles, which is slightly smaller than the state of Oregon, just for comparison purpose. It borders Northern Ireland. The Northern Ireland actually has a border. That's the only thing that has got a land border with Ireland, 304 miles. And then its islands are surrounded by the oceans, and entire country is surrounded by the oceans. Since you are the audience of the Chamber of Commerce, here is a couple of lines on the economic overview. It's a high-income, diversified, non-EU economy, non-European economy. 6th largest importer and exporter from United States. That's what I mean. Global financial and diplomatic leader. Nominal consumption-led growth. High inflation and interest rates eroding purchasing power despite real wage growth. That's the scene that is existing at the present moment. But it's a $1 trillion economy. It's a $3.1 trillion GDP, and its per capita income is quite nice at $46,800 per person. And the growth that it has registered in 2023, I don't have 24 figures, is 4.1%, which, given the scenario of the COVID, is still very good. Political map on your left over here, you can see all the major cities. The London, the capital London is right here. The River Thames is going through here. England is here. Wales is here. Scotland is on the top, and Northern Ireland, of which the capital is Belfast, is right here. Scotland's capital is obviously Edinburgh, though the largest city is not the capital. The largest city of Scotland is actually Glasgow. What is England known for? Of course, it's pubs. The picture is here, very famous. The Stonehenge that everybody knows about. Pubs is something you are going to do on your own, most of you, I'm sure. Stonehenge is something we have included for you. Our royal family, unfortunately, cannot go and meet them, but they are known for it. They are known for their teas. And interestingly, none of these tea is produced in there. They all import the teas from either India, Sri Lanka, some other parts of the world, and they package it very nicely as English tea. And then the Senate, one of the very famous, name is the Bigelow tea, of which the image appears over here. Its healthcare system, the NHS, is very famous because they really take care of their citizens. It's clouds and rains, which I already explained to you. The English breakfast, which is famous, though personally I do not prefer it over the American breakfast, because our breakfasts are actually, much grand and include some hot, eggs and things of the sort. But English breakfast is known. Red telephone booths that we know, and of course they are now dying away, but they have still kept them as, the monuments over there. The British accent, which is the original English, obviously, the coal pines and the English countryside. These are the things that England is known for. Some interesting fact, that it is the home of world's oldest zoo, which is London, which is London Zoo. It opened back in 1828, and it's world's oldest scientific zoo. They are also the pioneers of the railways of the world. The Stockton and Darlington Railway, they opened back in 1825, and it was the first public railway to use steam locomotives. Also, it is the home of the Shakespeare, birthplace of Shakespeare. England is home of Stratford-upon-Avon, which we are going to go, the birthplace of William Shakespeare, one of the most famous playwrights history. Also, it has the largest stone circle, in Aubrey, which is located in Wiltshire, and has the largest stone circle in Europe. As a matter of fact, they have got 3 circles dating back to the Neolithic period. Actually, they are thought to be dating back to as old as 2,500 to 2,000 years before Christ. And the site was made by the same culture as Stonehenge, but this is not Stonehenge that they are talking about. These are the circle up here where the picture is appearing. And in medieval times, local farmers broke up or toppled many of the stones, thinking they were evils or devil and things of the sort. So anyhow, these are Couple of more, some interesting facts. The World Wide Web, through which I'm doing this presentation to you today, it was invented in England by Sir Tim Berners-Lee. He was an English engineer and computer scientist, and he invented the World Wide Web back in 1989. I have deliberately put all the degrees, which I don't know what does it stand for, OMKB, RDI, FRSE, whatever. All these degrees are, awarded to Sir Timothy John Berners. Thanks to him, that the world is the world we are today. Easy to communicate with each other, easy to look at each other, and do this webinar presentation. Also, the River Thames is the longest river entirely within England, stretching 215 miles from its source to the North Sea. So, wherever the source is, it goes and it, drains itself into the Northern Sea. Some of the popular English and Scottish cuisines are fish and chips. I mean, there's nothing English alone, so I have to include some Scottish. So fish and chips, which, claim by both the Scottish and the English that this is their original, food. The beef Wellington, the Sunday roast, the steak and kidney pie, the Yorkshire pudding, the haggis, which is definitely Scottish, Scottish porridge, and some sweet dish called Kranachana. Of the picture is appearing over here. Let's talk about our featured product, which is Discover Charming England, a 9-day tour, which is scheduled to depart on October the 21st of this year. And the itinerary that we are going to cover on this trip is Los Angeles to London. From there, we'll go to Cambridge, York, the Lake District, which is beautiful districts, Liverpool, Cardiff, Stonehenge, London, and back to Los Angeles. So 9-day tour. And the price per person for this beautiful trip, inclusive of the airfare, is $37.99 per person on double occupancy basis. That means you and your partner, your wife, your spouse, your friend, whoever, if you'll share the room, is $37.99. And if someone wants to stay on him or herself, by him or himself, then such person will pay a single supplement of $1,099 on top of $37.99 in order to stay for the 7 nights of accommodation in single occupancy basis. Some of the highlights that we're going to do is that you're going to go to the House of Parliament. I mean, we're going to see it. It's panoramic, trip that we're going to go, because we cannot get down at every place and come back. That will not be, done in 2 days also. But we will, of course, stop at most of the spots, important places for Photoshop. So we're going to go to Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, the changing of the guard ceremony in London, provided it happens on Thursday. Generally, it does not happen on Thursdays, but we will come to know closer to your, your departure. If they will say that it is not happening because the day 3 that you're going to be in London, and the day you're doing the tour, it happens to be a Thursday. Unless, we do not have a booking, and if Rachel decides that you want to move it 1 day earlier, 1 day later, and if you can, secure that in order to secure the changing of guard ceremony, then, Wednesday it is done and Fridays it is done. We will have guided tour of the historic Cambridge University side. We will explore the medieval walls and the Gothic cathedral in York, scenic drive of the Lake District. We will go to the Beatrix Potter's Hilltop and the Ullswater steamer boat ride. We will have a tour of the Beatles-themed tour in Liverpool. We'll have a walking tour highlighting the cultural and historical sites in Cardi Bay. And we will, of course, go to the iconic Neolithic stone circle, the Stonehenge, the world-famous Stonehenge. So that's part of our itinerary. What does it include is international round-trip airfares from Los Angeles, 7 nights accommodation on double occupancy basis at the listed or similar standard hotel, daily breakfast buffet, arrival and departure airport transfers, transportation in modern air-conditioned motor coach, services of English-speaking guide, all tours and sightseeings as per the itinerary, city tour in London and Liverpool, the Ullswater steamer boat ride in Lake District, walking tour of Cardiff Bay, visit to Stonehenge, luggage handling at the hotels, and all air taxes, fuel surcharges, and local applicable taxes. What does it not include is items of personal nature, tips and gratuities. If you want to know what is items of personal nature, so if you happen to use the laundry in your room, for example, or the mini bar, or nobody touches the one, but somebody picks up the phone, makes an international call, all this, or room service, for example, all this is personal nature expenses, which is not included. Tips and gratuities are not included. Now ETA, electronic travel authorization, which is an online thing, and I will show you where to get it easy. It takes a 5 minutes thing, is required from January the 8th. They have implemented it. So visa is required for American passport holders. Travel insurance is not included. And though the flights, that we are going to cover, will have the baggage fee, the baggage included. And I apologize, actually, on my next slide, and I'm just telling you this, I forgot to change the flights, which I will do at the end. So what you see on the screen, is not your flights. They are a flight for a different group of people. Because the airlines have got attitudes since the post-COVID, because of the unprecedented business, I'm just being safe. Though the flights that we have selected for you, and I will show it to you towards the end. Do not look at this one. They will have one checked-in baggage, one cabin bag, and one personal item. Remember that we do not have any bookings because we are doing the first promotion of this trip through this webinar. But bookings are fixed either 120 days before departure, the flights, 100%. That means we'll have to issue the tickets. Or when we have a reasonable number of bookings come through, then we'll fix them. Should we take a non-stop flight from Los Angeles, which is not going to happen, Los Angeles to London, it would have taken 12 hours and 25 minutes. But I will present to you what flights we have selected for you tentatively. When you arrive in London on day 2, we will be going to a hotel, which is called Holiday Inn London West. As you can see from 2,000 Google reviews, it has got it's a 4.2 rating out of 5 star, and it is a 4-star beautiful hotel in downtown London. And these are some of the pictures of the hotel, the real pictures. The real, room, it may not be how your room looks, but this is the picture from the Holiday Inn London West, which is going to be a home for 3 nights. So upon your arrival on day 2 and 3, and when you will do a full circle of England and you'll come back on day 8 again, you will come and stay at the same hotel for 1 night. And I will show you my next one. Next slide, where's the hotel located? When you arrive at London Heathrow International Airport, you'll be met with a placard which will say Vista Chamber Group by a representative, and you will be, taken by an English-speaking guide and a driver, and you will be transferred to your hotel. Just one thing about the hotel, that the North Acton Underground station, underground is subway, is just 14 minutes walk up. It's 0.6 miles from where you are staying. So here we are. This is London. In a Google map, anything that you see within a circle like this is pretty much downtown. So if you look at any European city, you'll see a circle going around in European city. Here is the Tower of London. This is your hotel. This is Hyde Park. And as I can see from North Acton, which is just, 14 minutes walk from your hotel, there is train every 5 minutes, which can take you, for example, to Hyde Park. So we are pretty much not in the central London, given the price, but we are pretty much within the downtown London, and you're not far from anything else. Plus, honestly speaking, this is a very tight, tour. Being the chamber members, you cannot go on a 15-day tour, which will do real justice. So we are going 2 nights, 1 night, 1 night, 1 night, and things like that. And we're seeing all the important places that need to be seen on a trip, which we call England. So on day 3, we are going to go on a London city tour. You will do a panoramic tour of London. You will discover the iconic landmarks, architectures, and cultural diversity, fascinating history that makes London the most visited city in the world, undoubtedly. They had a huge, unprecedented number of visitors in 2024. Everyone else did. For example, I was just reading yesterday, Spain received 94 million visitors, the second largest in the world, after United States, after France. So France received more than 94 million. I think they crossed 100 million. and Spain received 94 million. But England also crossed more than 80 million, as a matter of fact, which is never before very popular anyhow. So you are going to go sightseeing tour, which will take you non-stop precision of recognizable landmarks like the House of Parliament, the Big Ben, the Westminster Abbey, the Buckingham Palace, the Trafalgar Square, the Nelson's Column, the Marble Arch, and much more. And like I said in the very first slide of mine, that you are going to be on day 3, which happens to be a Thursday. You know, this event usually takes place on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Sundays, you know, usually. But they can do it also, and we'll come to know closer to the departure date if there's a changing of guard happening on a Thursday when you'll be there. But if it happens, then you will look at it. If it is not happening, then we'll replace the changing of guard with something more interesting. What it will be, something that we will let you know, closer to the departure date. On day 4, after the breakfast, we will depart London and we will start going north towards York. And first, before going to York, we'll stop in Cambridge for a short orientation tour with your guide and, sometime at leisure. It's the university city of Cambridge that is, an attractive collection of grand colleges, buildings, and vast green urban parks. The students of the prestigious university buzz around the streets on the bikes, whilst tourists may take to the River Cam on local gondola like punts and things like that. During the trip of Cambridge, or tour of Cambridge, you will also hear all about the history of the universities, famous former students like Darwin, like Newton, like Hawking, and the political aspects of the applying and studying there. Then we will continue on to York for a short orientation tour with your guide and sometime at leisure. This is a city which was established by the Romans back in 71 AD. You will have a walking tour of the city, and you can read most of the details of what is it going to cover on the brochure, which is uploaded on the Chamber's website if you like to read, through more. Or when you will go to make the booking, even if you do not want to make the booking, if you want to read more about the store, the link that I will provide you, which has been provided to Chamber, and Chamber has placed it on their website, you can read all about it. So I'll not take a lot of your time in reading through, what does it include. You can do that yourself. But some of the important sites of, what are you going to see in the, the city of the university and the York. As you can see, grand, buildings of the university, some of the best of the world, in this area that you're going to be visiting. The hotel that we're going to stay in York for one night, it's called the York Pavilion Hotel, Georgian country house situated in walking distance of the walls of the historic city of York. Remember that once you start going, you do not have a lot of time, because you will be doing touring, and then you will arrive late afternoon, early evenings, and you will be checking in, but nonetheless, you are having, again, a beautiful hotel to stay over here. As you can see, very, very English style, one of the bedroom, one of the, the lunch or dining area over here, and the hotel is structured from outside. So this is going to be a one-night stay. On day 5, we will check out of the hotel always after breakfast, and then we will start going to the beautiful, beautiful Lake District. And you are going to do a scenic drive of the Lake District, stunning national park of the Northern England, home to the 16 lakes and the Scaffold Pike, the highest peak in England. One of the most popular spots in the area in the lake is called the Windmere, where a lake cruise and free time is allowed. And we are going to have, in the charming Victorian town of Barnes, Barnes on Windmere. Highly recommended activities. The lake famous for their dramatic landscape, lush forests, and mist-capped mountains. That is it is famous for. You are going to do a visit to the hilltop. So discover the story of the Beatrix Potter by visiting the hilltop, which is filled with her favorite things. This house seems as if Beatrix had just gone out for a walk. It's been kept such a beautiful way. Each piece contains a reference to an important, to an image of the tale. And then there's some more history again that you can read on the Chamber's website or on the online booking link. And then you're also going to do the Ullswater steamer boat ride. So here are some of the pictures. This is the Ulster steamer boat ride over here. The Lake Windermere over here, the Lake District General picture. These town of Windermere and Barnes over here, and the hilltop, the Beatrix Potter's house. These are some of the pictures that you're gonna you're gonna visit. The cruise is quite very interesting. It's England's most beautiful lake. This lake is, and the cruise is going to be on that lake. And they operate one of the largest heritage passenger fleets in the world, offering visitors experience that you will never forget. It runs a serpentine course of 8 miles through the expansive vistas of lakes, lakelands, highland mountains, and things of the sort over here. So that is about your tour on your day here, which is your day 5. You will go and sleep in one of the lake area hotels, which is actually a resort and a spa, and I'm going to show you which hotel you're going to stay. So you're going to stay in Low Wood Bay Resort and Spa. On the map, you can see it's very close to the lake over here. And look at some of the stunning pictures of this beautiful, a resort and spa. Out of 2,000 reviews again on Google, it has got a 4.4 rating out of 5 star, which is an excellent rating. It's a 4-star hotel. And as you can see, the beauty of this hotel, the external picture, the swimming pool, which you will not be able to enjoy in the month of October. Perhaps will be very cold, unless I don't know if it is heated. But they have a swimming pool which is inside as well. The bar area, the sitting lounge over here, one of the bedrooms. If you're lucky, perhaps you will have a room with a view of this beautiful, beautiful lake. So this is going to be your one night. Had the time permitted, I would stay there for at least 3 nights, to enjoy this entire thing. But again, like I told you, that on a chamber-led group where business owners cannot afford to go for more than 9, 10, 11 days, to see everything, that's worth seeing. We need to keep on moving. And one night in Lake District, day 6, we will leave the Lake District after breakfast and we'll go to Liverpool. So we will, on arrival, first thing we'll do is the Beatles-themed sightseeing tour of Liverpool. There are few cities with as many iconic features as Liverpool. During the last 2 centuries, this port city in North has been the maritime powerhouse, home of the Beatles and 2 world-class football teams, and became the Europe's capital of culture. I will not read again a lot of it. Some more pictures. So let me show you some of this. Let me read you. So this is the city of Liverpool, one of the famous cathedral, the river over here, the River Mersey, the Albert famous dock over here, St. George's Hall, Tate Modern, Maritime Museum. All is going to be covered in your quick trip. Some more pictures on this one. This is the Cavern Club on the Matthew Street. Perfect way to explore the Beatles' humble beginning and also experience a vibrant music scene that continues to this day. So here are the Cavern Street, some of the old pictures of the Beatles over here. And it's a very famous thing. People, especially the music lovers, go there, spend a few days over there. But we have made this as part of your itinerary. You can read more about it, but quickly, it was opened back on January the 16th of 1957 as a jazz club. And then later it became the center of rock and roll in the Liverpool in the late 50s and 60s. And the club became closely associated with Mersey Beat, and they regularly played host the Beatles in their early years, which was in the 70s, 73 onwards, And then today, as you know, the history of Liverpool, what it is known for, and Beatles, I'm sure you know all about more than I do. There's the one night that we're going to stay in Liverpool is going to be, again, a 4-star hotel, Leonardo Hotel in Liverpool. Again, a beautiful hotel, a 4.2 rating out of 3,000 Google reviews. One of the bar area, the external building, and one of the bedrooms. So this is going to be your one night stay in Liverpool. And also the hotel is actually walking distance from the city center, 10 minutes to everywhere from this particular hotel, Leonardo Hotel. 10 minutes, you're anything famous in Liverpool, you are there. So it's pretty much centrally located in Liverpool. And Liverpool is important that you will definitely want to walk out of your hotel after you're checked in the evening and you want to go around. So you're pretty much centrally located. On day 7, we will check out after breakfast and we will go towards Cardiff. On the route, we will stop at the literally town of Hay, Y for the lunch and leisure, at leisure. Lunch is not included, it'll be in your own. On your arrival, you will have a walking tour of the Cardiff Bay, which is the Welsh capital. It's a city that, with a long and fascinating history, but also a city reinventing itself for the future. Cardiff Castle towers are very famous, and some of the other sites, that you can read again in the description. But some of the important, sites are the Cardiff Bay, the Cardiff Castle, the Llandaff Cathedral, the Bute Park, the Welsh Millennium Center, and the Norwegian Church, which is part of your itinerary when you will do the tour. Norwegian Church, a Doctor Who experience a cultural hub, actually. The hotel that I'm going to stay on day 7 in Cardiff is, again, Park Plaza Hotel, 4-star hotel again, out of 1,700 Google reviews. It's got a 4.4 rating. So every rating that you've seen, above 4 out of 5. Again, some pictures of the external picture, one of the in-house swimming pool, one of the bedrooms over here. It's a beautiful hotel that you're going to stay in Cardiff for one night. Some more pictures. This is day 8. So on day 8 already we will have breakfast and we'll start coming back towards London. So we've taken a full circle. I'll show you in my next slide what have we traveled. So Cardiff, we will then go to Bath before we arrive in Stonehenge, and finally we will arrive in London. So we'll stop in Bath for a short orientation tour with your tour guide and some time at leisure. This is a beautiful city of Bath, is packed with eye-catching highlights, the half-moon-shaped Royal Crescent. Don't have the picture of that one over here. And also Georgian architecture built here is the Georgian architecture. You can see here, it's a beautiful building. Shaped Royal Crescent in the epitome of the Bath Georgian architecture built from the colored stone. Again. Then we will go and move on to go to the Stonehenge, which I will show you in my next slide. So the true meaning of this ancient, awesome, awe-inspiring creation has been lost in the mist of time. Stonehenge is a temple for sun worship, a healing center, a burial site, or perhaps a huge calendar. We don't know what is the reality. How did our ancestors manage to carry the mighty stones from so far away, because there are no stones close by, and then using only the most primitive of tools, build this amazing structure surrounded by mystery? Stonehenge never fails to impress people who visit there, standing proudly on the slopes of the River Avon. Beautiful Bath was the first city in England to be designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is you're going to stop before you arrive into Stonehenge. So this is a site that we're going to visit over here before you arrive back into London. Upon arrival, you will be staying in the same hotel that I showed you on my third slide, Holiday Inn West, London. And then on day 9 after breakfast, you will be transferred to Heathrow Airport for your flight back home. And this is how the 9-day trip of your England tour will conclude. Here's what did we cover. If we took this trip non-stop from Holiday Inn London West and came back to Holiday Inn London West, what we would have covered is 813 miles or 17 hours non-stop. But we are going to do this trip over 7 nights and 8 days. So we're spending first 2 nights in London. Then we're going to go to York and we'll stop in Cambridge, as you can see over here. So what I'm trying to emphasize over here, that at no point in time you will be having, painful long rides, non-stop travel or anything of the sort. London to Cambridge is perhaps an hour to drive, depending on traffic, how fast you can get out of the city of London. And then from Cambridge to York, you're looking at maybe another couple of hours from there before you arrive in York. Then we will go to Lake District, which again you can see over here. From York, we're going to Lake District. This is 1 night here. We have 2 nights here. Then we have 1 night here. We have 1 night in Lake District over here. And then we will be arriving in Liverpool, which again is perhaps an hour and 20 minutes drive, again, depending on traffic. And then from Liverpool, we are coming down all the way down to Cardiff. So you can see we're taking a big circle. And then from Cardiff, we'll go stop in Bath. Then we'll do the Stonehenge, as you can see, Cardiff, Bath, Stonehenge, and then back to London. From Stonehenge to London is another an hour and a half to 2.5 sometime, depending again how heavy is the traffic entering into the city of London. Let's talk about who we are. Indus Travel is a group tour company. We do various group types. So we do the chamber travel, which is more than 20% of our business. But then we do religious tours. So the faith-based tours, we do active tours like the yoga and things like that. We do, women-only tour. We do all different types of things besides the scope of this presentation. It's a privately owned independent business, and therefore the decisions are quick. For example, one of you wants to be upgraded to business class, or you want to have an extra leg room, a bulkhead seat, which doesn't come for free. You'll have to pay all that, anything of this sort. One of you wants to, a couple wants to stay behind in England and wants to cover Ireland or Scotland on your private basis towards the end of this trip. All that decisions are quick. And, we will be talking to you. Very expert advice from knowledgeable team. So everybody in our product, all these hotels are hand-selected hotels. Our team goes, inspects them, and then we contract them. Same thing in operations, same in the air team, and same with me. I can talk about myself. I'm in the industry close to 30 years. I have worked with some of the best airlines as area sales manager, area managers, and even regional manager in 8 different regions of the world. I've been to 83 countries, still counting. It's not much. There are more than 200 countries in the world which can be visited. So I don't know if I can cover the rest of them, but I've been so far to 83, countries. And majority of the countries around the world, or the destination around the world, I do not really need to open the book in order to know about it because I have seen them multiple times. We are established back in 2001, which puts us actually 23 years in business now, as we are in 2025. And we have, an independent review done by one of our partner company, which is called reviews.io. It's a Google partner company, and we are holding on to a 4.6 average out of 5-star. It's a dynamic thing, you can see it going up and down. We can go up to 4.8, come down 4.6 because, people come with whatever comments and experiences they have. But having anything more than 4.5 already speaks for itself. Out of 664 reviews, we are holding on to 4.5 and above at all the time. On BBB, our rating is A+. How do you book? So we encourage everybody, unless, you really want to insist on a manual form, that you go online. And again, this link is provided on Chamber's website. And this link, as you can see over here, it's a live link. When my cursor goes there, as you can see, it's a live link. If I click on here, the site will open. So you can go on this link and you can make your booking. You will see, a lot of details and a lot of interesting information on this site, even before you book. So remember, I told you that you can read about, everything about this tour over here, even if you're not booking. So it talks about tour highlights, what does it include and all that. I have just taken a small screenshot, as you can see. So overview of the trip, the price and dates, full itinerary, explanation of everything that I've been explaining to you. So you can go to day 1, day 2, day 3, tell you pictures of accommodation. So you have at least 3 or more pictures of each of the accommodation that you will be staying at. Some very important information of before you book. So it'll talk about the destination, about England and things like that. Some frequently asked questions. And then when you click this book now button over here, it will take you and you can start making a booking. Again, I have taken a screenshot 2 screens down the line, which looks like this. But before I go there, what you can do on this online link is you can enter your personal details, your names, your date of birth. You can upload your passport copies, which are ultimately required, but they are not essential at the time of booking. So if you don't have it ready and you want to go ahead and make a booking today, go ahead and do it. Or if you really want to insist, though we do not really prefer it, you can come to Alma and I can create a manual form and we can send you one. You need to pay a $500 deposit in order to hold the space, and the final payment will be due by June the 21st. So you're talking about 4 months at your hand, no, 5 months in your hand before the final payment can come due. You have the choice, paying $500 and paying the remaining $3,200 in equal installment, or as you go, $300 next month, $500 after that. Or if you have the choice, you want to wait right until June the 21st and pay us the balance money, we are good with that. In addition to the online booking link, you also have a dedicated consultant at our tour coordinator at our head office. His name is Anup. He's also available on a toll-free number. It's 669782997, and his extension is 910. But the best way to contact him will be sending him an email. His email is anup@industravels.biz, and he will be, provided he is not signed up for the day, in a couple of hours, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours, he will come back and either call you back or take care of whatever you you are seeking from him. So when just before you start making a payment, you will come to the screen over here, which again talks about a tour of $37.99, which is obviously a double occupancy basis price over here. And it gives you the choice of deposit only or full payment. So you can pay the deposit. And there's one more thing which you see over here, which is called pay monthly. Now, I did not cover that, but when you go to Home Depot, for example, and you are buying a big electrical equipment or something like a refrigerator, you have an external company who can give you a financing. So we have also a partnership with a finance company during your payment procedure. If you want to take the finance, you can go and click there, but it is absolutely the discretion of this finance company whether they will approve you based on your credit rating and how much they will approve you on whatever. So it will be between you and the company, but it is doable. And then you can pay them back monthly, $176 per month, for the calculation, and they will make a payment to us. So that choice is available if you would like to do it. Let's talk about some miscellaneous over here. Everywhere in the world, other than North America, the voltage is 230. We are the only nation with 110 voltage, 50 hertz plug, and the plug type that works in England and in Scotland is type G. This is how the wall inserts look. But everything that we carry in our world today, like your laptops, your book readers, your shavers, your telephone, your smartphones and everything is dual voltage. So you really do not need a converter. All you need is actually a good adapter, of which one picture is appearing over here. So once you have an adapter, which can come from as low as $8 to as expensive as $25. $25 is really very, very advanced. You buy one-time expense. Today you're going to England. Tomorrow you're going to Peru, South Africa, Vietnam. It will work in every part of the world that you're going to. So you really need an adapter, and then it will insert on this other side into the plug, and you can then plug your, whatever equipment that you want to charge. The local currency, like I said in the very beginning, is British pound. The rate today, $1 will buy you 0.81. So 81, pences, as they call it. So pounds and pences. So 81 pence is what you will get. Or if I inverse it, £1 can be bought for $1.24 today. Remember that the exchange rate fluctuates, but not too much. It'll go a few points up and down by the time you travel. Do you really need to carry the local currency? My answer is no. Of course, it's your wish, because A, you're going to one of the G7 countries, so credit cards and debit cards are widely accepted around anywhere that you go. And of course, you will need some cash for tips, for pops, for water, for snacks. By the way, water is portable, so you really do not need bottled water if you want to, or pops, for example. So you can do you can use the ATMs, and you can withdraw the money as much as you want and use it. So you really do not need to go to an American Express or any other place like this, and really change the money and carry that money. Not required. So I have two tips for you. Number one is that when you are taking the money out from there, do not do multiple transactions. The reason being that the local bank will charge you anywhere between $3 to $4 for the transaction, and your bank back in the United States will also charge you a $3 to $4. So you're losing $8. So don't do a $100 transaction 5-7 times, because you're unnecessarily losing $7 to $8 every time that you do it. So be smart. Do your calculation how much you need. Do 1, 2, 3 transactions at the best. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is that when the ATM will ask you exchange our conversion rate, always decline it, because your bank in the United States will give you a better rate than how the bank in England will give you. So these are the 2 tips for you to deal with your currency. The average temperature in October is going to be 55, high of 57, low of 48. Of course, Californian from Los Angeles, you will require, ask us here, we are perhaps 21 just now outside here, but doesn't matter. So you will require a jacket as per the weather, as you can see over here. The night temperature will be 54, and this is the average in London. And you're not going too far away from London. So even if you go to north, you may consider that the temperature will be maybe a degree or 2 lower than what you're looking the London temperature at an average of October. The water in England is potable, yes. The souvenirs that you can buy from there, if you like teas, then various types of teas, preserves, stationery, the Jasperware, shortbread cookies, which they are very famous, and some of the best chocolates that you can also get from there. And of course, Scotch, which you can find during your trip, which comes from Scotland, obviously, but you can buy it over there. Some of the best flavors by Cadbury chocolates that are made in the world are actually in England, and they are not available in North America, by the way. For example, you get a mint flavor, which is only available in England. And then some other flavors are made by Cadbury also down in Australia. For some reason in North America, they do not produce as many flavors of chocolates as we have over here. Some tipping guidelines for you. It's customary to leave a 10 to 15% of the total bill when you're eating out. If the hotel is already charged your service charge, then you do not need to pay that. But again, this is only our guidance to you, our recommendation. It's absolutely at your discretion whether you want to tip or you do not want to tip. You bartenders expect about £1, and it is also polite to tip 10 to 15% of the taxi fare if you're using a taxi, which most probably you will not. And the porters expect about £2 to bring your luggage to your room, 1, 2 pieces, whatever you have. That's just a general guideline. Your passport must be valid for 6 months. And you will require an ETA, an electronic travel authorization for the US citizen. And the moment this starts, you will see 50 sites, and in 2 months, 3 months, it will become 200 sites, which will all want to lure you into their website and charge you unnecessary extra money. The area that you should go to is government.uk, or you can download their app, which is UK ETA app. This will be the most minimum and the bare minimum fee which is taken by the government, which will not exceed $10 under any circumstances. So remember, I will again send this information to Alma, and you can ask her, or maybe they can upload it on this, that gov.uk is where you should take a visa. When you go to Google and look for visa, you'll see so many different sites, and they will charge an extra 40, extra 20, extra 60, all sorts of money. So don't go for that. Be careful. Just go to government.uk. Travel insurance is highly recommended, though it is not essential, but we highly recommend. What is travel insurance? Travel insurance is, the moment you start traveling and upon arrival, your baggage is delayed, your baggage is lost. You need a visit to a pharmacy, to a doctor, God forbid, to a hospital. All that is covered under travel insurance. But there's something that I recommend that you include, which is called trip interruption or trip cancellation for valid reasons. There is also something that you can buy cancellation for any purpose, but then the premium goes very high. But for example, 2 days before departure or on the day of departure, somebody very close in your family becomes ill, or you yourself, God forbid, break your arm or your leg and you're unable to travel. Any reason which is covered by your insurance company for your inability to travel, minus your premium, your investment will be reimbursed back to you. And the difference between, the travel insurance and the trip interruption is not huge. During our process of booking, we will offer you the travel insurance, but it is not essential that you buy it from us. You can buy it from anywhere. If you are depending on your credit card, find out what is the minimum charge that will not pay, because sometimes the minimum charge is absurd, $1,200, and you only had a visit to a doctor and you paid $350, for example. They'll say, sorry, this is not reimbursed. So find out, just don't trust, that your credit card will cover you and things of the sort. There are no health concerns of any sort. COVID is not completely eradicated from planet Earth, not even from the United States, but there are no mentions, no requirement, no certificates, nothing is required anymore. I just have to mention, because this was one disease which had devastated completely the hospitality industry, including us, for 2.5 years. Some other tips and recommendations. This is more for Alma and for Rachel, who is going to actually lead your group, that you need to create, once the passengers start making the booking, a WhatsApp group, and you can call it, Vista England trip, for example. We do not know about these free, text apps, because text messages in the United States is free with any carrier. But other parts of the world, their WhatsApp is the number one on the top of the world, because they have limited number of text messages. After that, they need to pay. So people use this. So you create a group on WhatsApp, and then I will tell Rachel how to create it. And then you can make calls to each other. You can send messages. You can include the guide and the driver in your group. So, if somebody is missing somewhere, you can keep on. And everywhere the Wi-Fi is available, most of the places that you're visiting. So it's free app. You can make free calls. You can make free calls back home. You can ask your, family members also to download WhatsApp, and you can make free calls back home, even video calls, back home. WhatsApp is one of the best. So that's one of the tip on the recommendation. Like I told you, generally one piece of 23 kilos or 50 pounds. Luggage, one carry-on, and if you get yourself upgraded, then you will, your baggage allowance will change. Now is the time for question and answer. And whilst you are doing the question and answers, I'm looking at it, let me look at your flights. Stop sharing my screen, and then I will come back to answer your questions. Okay, so Tom asked a couple of questions. Are our cameras and microphones turned off? Yes, sir, it did. I answered that in the beginning. Is there a website with all this information? Yes, sir, there is. I have spoken to you that this online booking link has got everything. And Rachel has already answered that. Thank you. Right? I didn't read it. Let me look at the flights, please. Give me 1 second.
While you're looking at the flights, if I could just add that I'm excited about this itinerary. I think it just sounds, you described the trip as charming, and I think that is exactly the perfect description. I've had the privilege of visiting England in the past. My trip was specific just to London, and this itinerary sounds so exciting because it includes London, but also all of those other great locations that you mentioned, like Stonehenge and Liverpool and York, all of those amazing places. So we're excited at the Chamber, and Alma on our team is going to be the lead for the trip. But I'm kind of thinking I want to go too. So we'll have to see if that fits in my schedule, but very excited about this, and look forward to sharing this trip with all of our community. And it's open to anyone. You don't have to be a Chamber member to join us on this trip. And you don't even have to be a business owner. It's open to anyone, but we are excited about developing connections with our community and exploring England with everyone.
Okay, I will go and share my screen again and show you 2 tentative schedules that we put together. So allow me 1 second, please. I will do this momentarily. Excuse me. So you're looking at either the Swiss flights, which is going on October 21st at 7:25 p.m., brings you into Zurich next day in the afternoon at 3:35, connects at a beautiful connecting time at 17:05, which is 5:05 p.m., Then you arrive in London Heathrow at 5:50 p.m. on a Swiss flight on October 22nd. If we took this, then you will be departing from London on October the 29th at 9:25 a.m. So again, not a very early morning flight. That means you can easily have your breakfast at the hotel around 6:30ish. Most probably your guide will ask you to leave. And then you arrive back in Zurich at 12. You have a beautiful connection, 1 hour and 10 minutes, and you arrive on the same day. So remember, you lose time when you go over, and you gain the same day. So you'll be back in Los Angeles at 5:30 p.m. on October the 29th. That's choice. That's one of the options. The other option is Scandinavian Airlines, which is Los Angeles to Copenhagen, against approximately same departure time. And you can see arrival the same time also. This is 5:50. This one is 5:40 p.m. This departure from London Heathrow is slightly better because instead of at a 9:25, though it's just about 55 minutes, via Copenhagen, Scandinavian and Swiss, both are good airlines. 1:15 p.m. in Copenhagen, 2:20, again, a beautiful connection of 1 hour and 15 minutes, and 6 p.m. local time back in Los Angeles. These are the two tentative flights that we have for you over here. Okay. All right. So there are no other questions. Just before I hand it back to Rachel for her concluding remarks, I would like to once again second what Rachel just said, that this is a beautiful itinerary. As a matter of fact, this is one of our brand new itinerary, and I'm also proud to tell you that actually I am the one who created this itinerary based on my experience. So we're covering Lake District, we're covering Liverpool, we're covering Cardiff, we're covering York, we're covering the Cambridge, we're covering the Stonehenge. And yes, it is a bit tight because you're doing one night, but that's the only way that you can see a country in 9 days, trip, inclusive of your flight. And it is this price, and I challenge you that you can find this price really a very attractive price. So not only that you should book, please ask your families and friends to book. And it does not matter if your family lives in Minnesota or in New York, anybody can join. It doesn't have to be a member of the chamber. If you have a family member who wants to join from elsewhere, there is a procedure how to do it. The only thing is that the tickets have to be issued instantly, but they can pretty much come and join you. So go ahead and do it. And with these words, I would hand it back to Rachel for her concluding remarks, and then we'll close this session. Thank you so much again, Rachel. Thank you, Vista Chamber. Thank you, everybody who has taken your time in attending to this webinar today.
Thank you so much. I pretty much already said it, which is just that this itinerary is a delight and looks so fun. And we would invite anyone, like I said, anyone from our community, or if you have family or friends, this is a great idea for a sibling trip. If you're someone who gets together with siblings and takes trips, family, friends, anybody. So we'd love to encourage you all to check it out. Saeed, you did a great job setting up this itinerary, and we just thank you so much. You can get more information at vistachamber.org/England. And while you're there on our website, take a look at all of the programs and services that we offer for our businesses and our community. We want to thank you so much for joining us for the webinar today, and we hope to see you in charming England. Thank you.
Goodbye now.
Bye-bye.